Hey guys, what's up? Marcus here. So the video clips that you're about to watch was actually the first video that I ever recorded. I just wanted to do that to get more comfortable with myself, or just kind of being on camera and then also having my cameras kind of point around with the setup that I have. It's stuff that I'm getting used to. You know, it's a work of art, so I have to figure that part out too. But the first video clips that you're about to watch, the first video that you're, oh my god, I can't talk today. Coffee. The first video that I recorded is actually going to be the clips that you're going to be watching very shortly. So essentially, it's just going to be me showcasing the sketchbook thumbnails that I did for my short story comic book page for Spawn. Again, I'm doing that for a class that I'm taking right now. Kind of doing it on my own free will, but also doing it to kind of just put myself out there and showcase some skills, learn about my strengths, my weaknesses, whatever it might be, and just learn as I'm going from that feedback. And then of course I'm posting it here, etc. Hopefully to get some feedback from you guys or whoever's out there that probably knows a hell of a lot more than I do. So basically, so I'm gonna showcase this video here for you. Again, it's going to be a brief explanation within the actual sketchbook itself with the thumbnail versions and all that jazz. But then I'm just going to speed everything up just so you don't have to, be sitting down forever watching me as I talk and draw and all that stuff. So I figured it probably would be easier to do like a time lapse sort of thing. But yeah, so this is my second video, technically showing my first video. Enjoy. Alright, well, here we go. Cool. Awesome. Welcome. Anyway, my name is Marcus. I'm currently taking classes with Scott Hanna, who is a Marvel and DC Comics inker, artist, penciler, what have you. Currently going through classes for sequential storytelling. Been learning a lot. I'm now in class number 4. We're on a 2-week break now for the holidays, so won't be going back to the class until after the new year. But yeah, so again, learning a lot. Has some homework and all that other stuff, which is haven't had homework in many years. But anyway, so what I have here is, let me just switch this out here. There's my dog. One of my dogs sleeping. So what I have here is essentially just basic 5-panel kind of like thumbnail layout, whatever you want to call it. So I'm a big Spawn fan. If you saw my office, which maybe you can see some things, I got a lot of Spawn figures and posters and all that. But anyway, so basic thumbnails, kind of going over Spawn looking over Rat City, so opening shot here, and then I have Spawn holding a wedding ring. Of course, we all know way back in the day, Spawn, the whole love story with him and Wanda. So I just kind of wanted to tell like a really short story of Spawn letting go of Wanda, the love, or what have you, because he can't obviously be with her because he died, went to hell, became a Hellspawn. He's looking over the city, and then we have him here figuring out that this is a spot where he is going to basically let go of the wedding ring that he's been holding on to for quite some time, which the wedding ring is on a necklace, just because, or like a wire string necklace or whatever, just because obviously he's a Hellspawn and he's got symbiotic plasma and other things on his fingers, so I would imagine he can't really wear a wedding ring and all that. So yeah, again, basically Spawn overlooking the city, making the decision to, let go of said wedding ring. Close-up shot of the wedding ring. Then we have Spawn from a sort of one-point perspective, like as if it's someone from the crowd looking up towards a church, I should say, because he's always kind of known to be hanging or dangling from some churches or crosses or something like that. And as you can see, the ring is then falling right here, and then we have sort of a close-up shot, but not necessarily a close-up shot, so I guess you call it a long shot or mid to long shot of the foreground, midground, and background. So we have here the wedding ring, which is next to street on the street. But basically we have just a quick little puddle of water, some trash. You can see here we have some feet, people walking, sort of that middle ground right there, some more trash and a trash can. And as you get further back, you can kind of see there is some, entrances to a store, a restaurant, diner, or whatever it is in a city. Haven't quite figured that out yet. Again, quick thumbnail. So yeah. And then just to continue on with a short little story to kind of set up the action here, we then have Spawn here, really close up, kind of looking and turning to his side as he hears footsteps. And we have what I've been learning through class is maybe these sorts of subjects should be more shadowed figures. So I kind of gave Cagliostro here a little bit more shadow or shading, but it's just him with his hands in his pockets walking over. Actually have some notes here from the class I've been taking here. So we want to make it more of like an overlapping of the characters, kind of like what you see in TV shows where the camera is talking to one character, or the camera is pointing at the character, but really they're kind of looking in this direction at the character, and you can kind of see it's like over the shoulder in a sense. So I kind of wanted to go with that shot there, but just to kind of just show a little bit more detail of Spawn being on top of the church. There's a lot of churches, as far as my area goes, maybe not everybody's area, but some churches in my area that I live in have bells on them, and some of them ring the bells once an hour, or midday, mid-afternoon, or 6 o'clock, like 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and that's really it. Maybe 9, 12, and 6, but anyway, so I just wanted to emphasize again more of like that overlapping, but then taking it a step further by showing more of the cityscape. So kind of doing a foreground, middle ground, background in a sense, but not really. Maybe stretching that out a little bit with the side of the church, maybe some shingles or whatnot. Kind of putting it in somewhat perspective, but still have to work on that. Then we have Cagliostro, what would be pulling a sword out from his giant ass trench coat here. If you are familiar with Cagliostro back in the day, he used to wear a lot of giant what looked, maybe it was just like a style choice, but basically he was in just like a giant trench coat, and it looked like I wouldn't say it's a fedora, but it's some sort of like hat fedora in a sense. I got plenty of fedoras. I don't really think it's a fedora, but the way that it was drawn, maybe it's just overemphasizing the fedora. Maybe back in the 90s that's how they were, but I do see some folks, it's kind of like a fedora meets cowboy hat, like if they had a child. But anyway, so yeah, so he's pulling out his long sword, because Cagliostro was once a Hellspawn. He just happens to have this sword on him. Who knows where it came from, but of course you're led to believe it's coming from somewhere inside said trench coat. So we have a close-up, maybe some noises like shing, coming out of some sort of holster in his trench coat or something of the sort. I didn't want a background at all. I haven't really decided, so kind of wanted to get to a place where, maybe showing some action or movement or something of the sort, sort of like how anime does action with some crazy lines and all that stuff, to show that some things are going on there. And then it's not really in quite the anatomy from the feedback I got from Scott Hanna. It's there, but I think that's one thing he's not, like I have my own style basically, like anyone else does. So I'm not going for a perfect anatomy figure or comic book figure. A lot of my inspiration over the years has been Joe Mad, Humberto Ramos, Greg Capullo, of course, Todd McFarlane, to name a few. Who else am I thinking of? Mike Turner, R.I.P. So yeah, so I've kind of just been developing my own style over the last 20 years or so. I know it's not perfect, but working on it. We'll get there, but trying to figure out But anyway, I didn't finish talking about this last panel. But anyway, it's him just basically wanting a duel with Spawn. And I put here, insert Metal Gear Solid duel theme. If you played that game, you probably know what I'm talking about. But so what I want to do here is I have my very first sheet of Bristol here, comic book accurate paper, you know, with the blue lines on the side. And I kind of want to give this a whirl just to kind of start. So we have some thumbnails here in my sketchbook, and then of course I want to start basically just putting those thumbnails onto the Bristol board here, figuring out things as I go. Again, I know it's not going to be perfect, so I'm going to start off with that first page there and work my way on each of the panels there. As you know, as I mentioned, it's 5 panels on the first page here. And then I'm going to bring this to class. My next class is January 7th. Again, we're on a 2-week break. So just trying to basically, you know, come up with something for class here. He gave me some feedback, and I'm going to start to lay the land. So there might be some time jumps on this video. I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go. So I'm just going to slap on some headphones, play some music, and I'll probably talk at some points while I'm, you know, drawing this whole thing, but I'm going to change the camera so that way it's actually on just, oh, there's my dog again.